Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you new here, my name is Donna, and for those of you not new, thank you so much for continuing to come back and support my channel. I appreciate all of you so very much. If you guys saw the thumbnail, you're here for a collection video, and I hope that you enjoy every single minute of it. I have already done a few. They will be listed down in my description box. I hope that you guys are enjoying this series that is kind of sporadically throughout the last couple months, or the last few months, however it may be in the end. Please don't forget, I am a super small creator. Nothing in this collection was sent to me in PR. I did purchase everything or got it in gratis because of my job. I am a service district leader for Ulta. I do get little tidbits of gratis through my position, but all of it was purchased by me. And if you'd like to see my hauls, I do have them in a playlist also on my channel. Again, I hope that you guys enjoy this. I hope that you are ready for some declutters, because after we get done with this collection series, that's what my plan is to do a declutter series and have a declutter done by the end of the year. I am super stoked. I feel like I have too much. I'm a little overwhelmed, and you'll see what I mean. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please just keep watching. Alright guys, today we are going to jump into foundations. See my Hello Kitty over there? So my foundations are everything from here all the way around. These are primers, and we will deal with primers later. This is my little foundation mixing palette because I often have to mix my foundations. So a little bit in my room has changed since the last time you guys got this view. I did put up the containers. These are the containers that I purchased, and this is also one of them. This is all now lipsticks here, and then up here I do have like eyeliners and excess stuff. There's some newness in my collection since I showed that to you, but we're just going to keep on trucking along. I can't continue to do a collection video every time I bring something new in, right? So you'll see the newness when I do the declutter. So for now, I am going to take this out because this isn't something pertaining to what we're going to be dealing with today. And we're just going to talk about foundations. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you're definitely in the right place. So I'm going to start with this guy here. This is actually foundation, but it is in a Glossier container. For those of you who are familiar with my channel and watch my empties, you do know that I took my Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation and my Becca Skin Love Foundation that I often mix together, and did put them into this container together. So when you open this guy up, it does have those two foundations mixed in there. This is currently in my project pan so that I can just get it out of my collection since it's no longer in its original container. The next one I have is this. This is one of the Stila Lingerie Souffle Silk Perfecting color, kind of like a fluffy foundation, I guess, if you want to call it that. Like, the packaging on this guy is stellar. I have some candle holders that are very reminiscent of this. I do love this packaging. I did get this at GMC, and I haven't even opened it. So I'm not going to open it now and show you guys. Hopefully you can see it through the glass there. But I mean, just stunning presentation. I just haven't opened it because I'm just not sure about the foundation itself, number one, but also that I'll even use it. But I truly love the packaging. The next thing I will show you are these guys. These are some of my stick foundations. I do have several. This one is new to my collection. This is a Juvia's Place stick foundation in Barcelona. And this is the shade of that. It's a little bit on the light spectrum, but it does match quite a bit of, and this is the one that the website shade matched me to. I just love their component also. Super fun and coral. These two here are ABH foundation sticks, and I do have one in the shade Banana, which is actually more of a like contour brightening stick. And then this one is more of the foundation shade, which is in the shade Warm. I did pick this up in the wrong shade, which is why I ended up buying the Banana one as well, because I can mix the two and actually get a pretty perfect blend. What I would say is that these are not my favorite formula of stick foundations because they are relatively stiff. They're really hard to blend, honestly, unless you're doing it with a really stiff brush. And I feel like I'm kind of dragging the product along my face instead of blending it into my face. Then I have this one. This is by Tarte. This is the Tarte Clay Stick. This is in the shade Fair Beige. And I love the component of this guy too. It's just so pretty. And then this is the shade. It is a little bit light for me. This is more of a winter color. I do love this foundation stick. It's nice and creamy. This is one of the only foundations by Tarte that I like, if I'm being honest. I did recently find love in the Amazonian Clay liquid foundation. I do like that, even though I'm a dry skin girl. I do love the finish of that. But this one is the first foundation I ever liked from Tarte. So, and then I have this one by Makeup Revolution, and this one is kind of old in my collection, honestly, and it is in the shade F6. And I just feel like I don't like this foundation. I feel like it transfers way too much. I feel like the color just isn't right for me. It's neither a nice winter color for me nor a nice summer color for me. I don't know. I just don't like it. It goes on really heavy too, you guys. How awful that looks. And even when I blend it in, it just still looks awful. Like you can see every line on my hand. It's just, I'm not in it. And that will probably be one I declutter for sure. So then I have this, which is actually something that my aunt got for me. It is the Rimmel Stay Matte. This is a full coverage mattifying foundation. I think that it's in a really good color for me. It is in 102 Light Buff. It is a drugstore option, whereas I don't have very many of those in my collection, as you guys can see. I just am kind of afraid of it. My friend JC, when she was here and we did that subscriber buys my makeup video, she told me I was not going to love this foundation because of how full coverage it is, and it does say full coverage on it. For those of you familiar, you know I prefer a more sheer to medium coverage than a full coverage, but I do have some full coverage options in my collection that I actually love. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a try. We're going to swing at it, but I haven't tried it yet. Oh, I forgot about this stick foundation. This is new to my collection. This is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and this is in the shade Shell. I did have a sample packet of this foundation, and this color, this shade seemed to match me best. So I did go ahead and pick it up. I think that it's going to be good. I'd like to try it, but it's one of those that is a more full coverage foundation in my collection, and I fell in love with it when I used it in my sample series. So I really do think I'm gonna like it, but again, in my sample series I dealt with it more not in a stick, so we'll see. A lot of people do talk volumes of good things about that foundation. So also in a squeezy tube, I guess we'll handle it in that fashion, is this. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation, and this is in the shade NC15. You guys can see how light that is. I did pick up the wrong shade because I did this online shade matched myself. Thought, oh, I could probably get away with that. This is one I am going to have to mix. I have worn it a couple times. It is a full coverage foundation and I do like it a lot. It's a foundation I'm going to need to mix with another foundation to get my shade because I made the mistake of picking up something too late for me. This is another Squeezy Tube foundation. This is by Wonder Beauty. This one is their Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. And this one I did get in an Ipsy. I haven't used it yet, but it sits upright, so you can tell these containers aren't completely full. Can you guys see where that is so discouraging? Like this container could have been so much smaller. I haven't even used this yet, but because it does sit upright in my bin, you can see where it's settled and how much is not in the components. It hasn't been opened. This isn't like it separating or anything. This is just it settling. This is in the shade medium. It does look like it's a good skin tone for me, honestly. I am anxious to try it. I've heard really good things about it, but I just haven't opened it up yet. All right, next I have this one. This one is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is a tinted moisturizing hydrating gel cream. It's got SPF of 30 in it, and this is in the shade Natural 05. I love this, but it is more of, say, a no makeup foundation than it is anything else. It's kind of got this like jelly consistency of it. It's also is not open, as you guys can see. I am gonna keep it that way. It is not new in my collection, but I just finished off the other Complexion Rescue that I had. This is a really great summertime or springtime foundation. I just thought I would run through my other one quicker than I did and bought a backup, and this is the problem with backups, right? But from what I understand, as long as you keep it sealed, it stays in good condition. So I keep a lot of my stuff sealed until I actually anticipate using it all. These are two of those items also. One is an It Cosmetics CC Plus cream, and the other one is the Bye Bye Foundation. I feel like they're the same. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have tried both. I used to actually exclusively use this one, and I got this, and it is sealed entirely. It's never been used. But this is in the shade medium, and then I ended up getting this one also in the shade medium, both as gratis at some point. And I think maybe one from GMC and one gratis. I honestly, I can't remember, but neither one of them have been opened. I have tried samples of both though, and I feel like they're the same. Like the Your Skin But Better CC Plus cream, it says it's a color correcting full coverage cream plus anti-aging hydrating serum, but it feels like and looks like a full coverage foundation. And then you have the Bye Bye Foundation full coverage moisturizer SPF 50, same thing, but they're listing it as a foundation instead of a CC cream. I don't know. I feel like it's the same thing. So my sister uses the It Cosmetics CC cream. I might give her one of these because I just don't see me using both of them, but that'll come after, of course, my declutters. All right, so then we get to this one, which is one of the new foundations in my collection. This is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Long Wear Foundation, and this is their Pro Filter line. This is in the shade 260. This was a sample that I got on my birthday last year, and I used it recently in my sample series and fell in love with this foundation. I actually thought I was going to hate it. I hated the last Fenty foundation, and this time when I put this one on, thinking I was going to like it, I put it on the first time with a brush and I absolutely hated it. And I thought, okay, well, here we go again. This is actually a really beautiful foundation, and I can't wait to break it open. Like I said, it's new in my collection. If you guys saw my haul, everything I hauled in July that went up in August, I hauled in 6 brand new foundations, and this was one of them. So the Hourglass Vanish Stick was also one of them. So this one is also new to my collection. I haven't used it yet. This one is one of the ones that was picked up in that subscriber buys my makeup video. JC did pick this out. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Dewy Soft Beige. I feel like this is a good color match to me, but I haven't opened it yet because the one I opened for that video was actually the other one that she picked up, and I have been using that one. I just haven't gotten around to opening this one yet, but I'm excited to try it. I don't have much for drugstore in my arsenal, so these two foundations I'm really happy to have. This is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. This has very, very quickly become a love list item for me. This is in the shade LN6. And this is the shade that I am most of the year. It doesn't suit me well in the winter. I mean, not in the winter, in the summer. I love this foundation. I got this foundation last year at GMC and didn't use it and finally did use it and just fell in love with it. The best part about this foundation is it is a full coverage foundation, but it doesn't feel like it, which is part of the reason why I don't like full coverage foundations. I just don't like the feeling of that heaviness on my skin, but this doesn't feel like it. It's very comfortable to wear. It's so nice on the skin, and it has blue light defense, anti-pollution, it's vegan friendly, gluten-free, it's cruelty-free, and it has a pump, as you guys can see, but it also, when you unscrew this piece, there is a doe foot in there, so you can apply it in multiple ways and fashions, and it's just a beautiful foundation. I have this one here. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea water foundation. I use this mostly as a mixer. I cannot stand this foundation on its own. This is in the shade light golden. I don't feel like, I mean, I feel like it's a good match, but this would be a no makeup kind of moment as far as foundation goes. It is really lightweight. I do like the feel of it on my skin, but I don't like the look of it on my skin. And for a water foundation, you would think it'd be, you know, a little bit more kind to dry skin girls, and I just don't think it is. So I do use it as a mixer often to lighten up a darker foundation, honestly, or lighten up the consistency of a foundation that I maybe don't love, and it works well in that fashion, but I don't find it works well as a foundation for me. Also, this apparatus for getting the foundation out, I think that is just the messiest, nastiest. I hate foundations like that. I have another one of those back there. This is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation, and this is in the shade Bisque Medium, number 26. I think that this is a beautiful foundation. I just, again, picked a shade way too light for me, and I think it'll make a great like winter foundation for me. I do feel like it's medium buildable, could be seriously full coverage if you went in ham with it. I don't go in ham, but it could be a really nice full coverage foundation. It is beautiful on the skin, so I love that foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear that JC bought for me in that subscriber buys my makeup video, and this is in the shade Vanilla Rose, I do believe. It does say 455, which I believe is the shade number, but I think it's Vanilla Rose. I think it's Vanilla Rose because we were concerned about whether this was going to be too pink for me or not because of the word rose in the name, but when I researched this foundation a little more, there's an awful lot of the shade names that include the name rose in it, and I'm not really sure why, but it's definitely not a pinky tone foundation. It is a lot more liquidy than I'm used to, even for a liquid foundation. It's a lot like this one is in its consistency. Honestly, it's pretty liquidy, but it's a beautiful foundation on the skin. I'm happy to have it. Honestly, the last time I tried a L'Oreal foundation, I all but told myself I would never buy another L'Oreal product as long as I lived, because that foundation broke my skin out so bad. I was so disgusted with having that. As a matter of fact, it was in my Project Pan last year, I think, and I had to mix it with other foundations and use just a little bit at a time just to get it out of my collection. I know better now. Now I will just throw an item away or give it to somebody else if it doesn't work for me. But this one, I loved this foundation. JC did a really great job picking this out. So this is the other like water-esque foundation that I have. This is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Foundation, and this one is in beige. This is a really nice foundation-ish. I think it's getting a little bit older in my collection. I think the formula of it may have changed. This might be one that goes in the declutter, but this one is a lot like this one in how it is dispensed, and I freaking hate it. So you unwind, which this pops up, which I think is really cool, but then you take it out and it's this dropper, and this, you squeeze product up into the dropper. I don't feel like you get enough in the dropper to do a full face, so you continually go in and go in and go in, or you're pumping out like 15 dropperfuls just to get enough for your face. I use this as a mixer, again, mostly because I'm not a fan of this formula for foundation. I have realized just those water foundations or aqua foundations are just not for me. I do like a light coverage foundation, but these are like minimal foundation, and I just feel like they seep into all the pores and the fine lines in your skin. I won't ever repurchase that. This is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Longwear Foundation, and it's in shade 270 Bisque Worm. And this also is a beautiful foundation. I have to admit, I didn't like it a whole lot at first, but I think the application of your foundations is everything. It's going to make or break your moments with your foundation, to be honest. Once I figured out how to apply this onto my face in a way that worked for the foundation but also for my face, I do think that it's beautiful and wearable. So lovely on the skin. It's got a nice like transfer resistant wear to it. It's not as transfer resistant as, say, the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte. I do find that it does transfer, but it's also not super oily. It does dry down beautiful. It has sunscreen in it, which I can appreciate, and I just love the component of it. I think it's just luxe. Is this my favorite foundation? No. Do I feel like it's worth the $48 that it costs? No. I think that there's a lot of other foundations that you can buy for quite a bit less that are better than this. I don't find that this sticks to my dry patches though, and I feel like this is probably a fuller coverage foundation, but doesn't, it's again one of those ones that doesn't feel like a full coverage foundation. So then we have these three guys, and I've not used any of these. These are part of what's new to my collection. I do have this Zoeva liquid foundation, and this is in the shade 050N, and it is named Beautiful, and that does look a wee bit light. It reminds me kind of the Ultra Longwear. Those foundation shades look pretty similar, and so I'm gonna try it out in the winter time. This is a natural luminous foundation. I have recently kind of moved away from matte foundations into a more luminous lifestyle when it comes to foundation. I'm here for it. And then I have this one, which is a little bit more matte. This is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. You guys, I took it. This is in 31NN. I haven't tried this on my face yet, but I do believe this is my color. I took a class, you guys. Part of the perks of working where I work is we get all these classes by our brand partners, and we took a class and we put this foundation on a spot on our hand and then did the class. Class lasted about, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. And then she had us use a towel and try and take this off, and it went nowhere. I had that like Urban Decay Stay Naked tattoo basically on my hand for 2 days, that foundation. And I I showered even. I just didn't shower in makeup remover, right? It was like locked in. It was on my, I'm excited for what this means for like days like today where it's 109 degrees outside and my makeup wants to be all over my face. And then the last of my foundations is this one. This is the ABH Luminous Foundation, and this one is in the shade 240N. This one does look a little bit warm. I think I might have to maybe exchange this. But I'm excited to try this one too. I've heard really great things about it. But again, these were 3 of the 6 that came into my collection recently. So I haven't tried any of them yet. I'm going to put these back real quick. I'll be right back. Alright guys, that was my foundations. Please let me know what foundations you've tried or which foundations of the ones in my collection that you'd like to try. I'd love to hear back from you guys. I'm going to roll you into the outro. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed the collection series video today. I hope that you enjoyed it so very much that you are going to give it a big thumbs up because it does help our channels out here. I also hope that you liked it enough, or you know, me talking to you enough. Not that you got to see my face except for in the intro and the outro, but I hope that you did like it enough that you're considering subscribing to my channel. Don't forget that as soon as we get done with this collection series, I will be doing also a declutter series. I hope to have all that done by the end of the year. I hope that you guys really did enjoy it though, and I hope that you enjoyed it so much that you're considering subscribing to my channel before you go. I do upload content 3 to 4 times a week, so if you do subscribe, please don't forget to hit the notification bell, as it will notify you every single time I do have an upload, and I wouldn't want you to miss anything. Thank you guys again so much for joining me. Please stay safe out there. Please stay well. Please love each other, but love each other from afar. Please wear a mask. And until next time, bye guys.